Okay, so we'll start with a quick overview of the hardware stack and parts required. At the top we have our mess of wires and T-harness to clean everything up. The center we have our EVO-ALL module. Over here is the R-Link programming tool for Volkswagen and Audi, and the THAR-VW is your transponder bypass module. Separately from these, you do need the FlashLink updater. That has to connect to a PC in order to program the module. Lastly, before we get going on the actual installation, something you need to know: in the 52-pin connector at the body control module, there are two wires that are black-red. One's on pin 4, one's on pin 17. The one you want is pin 17, which comes from the brake pedal switch. Okay, so here we'll start the disassembly. See a couple screws on the bottom. Here's the door to access your fuse panel. Get a screw on the left side, one over on the right. And those are T25. And this one here is up under the steering column. In behind this panel here on the side of the dash is the third T25 screw that you need to remove the lower dash panel. Okay, and before we rip this off the car, there is a few wiring harnesses that have to be disconnected. Here behind the headlight switch. Squeeze the tabs, pull them out. And an interior light down here at the bottom of this panel. So now I'm starting to take apart the steering column plastic. It's just the one screw in the bottom. Notice here, as I was trying to separate the two, I did it from the wrong direction. You see a close-up of the little tabs at the back. You should begin that separation right directly behind the steering wheel and then work your way back. There are actually little hooks on those tabs. Next, there are two screws on the side behind the steering wheel. You have to turn the wheel 90 degrees in order to be able to get a screwdriver in there. Once the second screw is removed, you'll be able to gently slide the lower steering column cover off. Once you slide this plastic off the lower half of the steering column, you'll see on the other side, we're going to get a little more slack here and unclip this wire harness. That's two wires that go to the transponder induction coil. The green wire you see here at this connection is the one that we have to cut to install the transponder bypass. So that's the connector that we have to remove in order to install the T-harness. Just a couple plastic tabs to pop the coil out. We're going to need this to program our key. Here I'm installing the R-Link programming tool. This will help the module capture the key data on the CANBUS in order for us to upload it to the DCryptor. Now later, after the module is programmed and you reinstall it in the car, you replace the R-Link with the TB-VW module. That is what will permanently stay in there to bypass the transponder. So once the R-Link is installed as our man in the middle, then we're going to remove the fuse panel to get at that brown connector. Depending on your configuration, you may have to tap into more wires at this point. For me, I'm just looking for the signal wire from the brake pedal switch, and this is where we have the two black-red wires. Next, I'm beginning the programming sequence. This is all explained step by step in the installation manual. Not a very good cameraman, so I cut off the successful LED sequence coming up right here. That tells us that the Evo has captured the data from the vehicle. Now at this point, we're ready to take the EVO-ALL module back inside. I'm going to plug it into a PC with the FlashLink updater tool. We're going to go to the DCryptor and we're going to send that data to the servers. This does take quite a while, so do yourself a favor, don't hit cancel, wait it out. Here we receive the data and uplink the Evo with the information required to bypass the factory key. And lastly, I double check every setting that I have, make sure that that's set for my specific configuration, and save those changes to the module. All right, once you save your configuration settings, you're ready to go plug the module back into the car and test it out. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.